Hey, you want to see something really scary?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
What's blood for, if not for shedding?
Welcome to Fright Night.
Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Chad.
This week we watched Bring Her Back.
We're going to put you with a foster mum called Laura. You're going to love her.
Oh, welcome to your new home. This is my daughter's room. I want to show you something else. This way.
We stuffed one.
I know I'm a weirdo.
How did you cope with Kathy being gone?
I didn't.
I think there's something wrong with Laura.
Oh my God, what is it? We can bring it back.
What are you doing?
He's gonna bring it back. He's gonna bring it back. I'm supposed to report how safe and reliable you are. So stay safe. Stay reliable, yeah?
So, we just came back from watching Bring Her Back. It is Thursday, 11 p.m.
What are you, the lady that used to do the time?
Yes. And I'm fucking wrecked. Okay? My eyes are swollen. My head hurts. I don't feel good.
We were not involved in an accident, by the way. This is just a result of the movie.
Yeah, this is a result in the movie. So we have covered some grief horror lately.
Yeah, quite a few lately, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that seems to be on the rise. I'm sure someone will come up with a better name for it.
Grief horror, trauma horror, I think it's all out there.
Trauma horror. I don't know. I think of trauma horror. So this is not a Talk to Me sequel for some reason. If you put Bring Her Back, that's like one of the questions Google has. Is this a sequel to Talk to Me? No, it's not a sequel to Talk to Me. It's a standalone. It's a standalone film written by Danny Philippou and Bill Heisman, who also did Talk to Me. And this was directed by Danny and Michael Philippou, which obviously also did Talk to Me. This is their second feature, and they're all about the grief.
Boy, are they.
And this film was a lot. Spoilers. So we didn't give you anything that you don't already know, which is just people's names. Now we're going to spill all the beans. This movie is following two children that have become orphaned. They go to live in a secluded area with their new foster mother, and she has a little secret.
She's a little quirky at first. She's a little weird. She's a little kooky.
She is. And she is Sally Hawkins. For those of you who may or may not be into Jane Austen, she played Anne Elliot in Persuasion. And I own this film, or I should say this two-part series that was put out by the BBC. And there may be a Jane Austen fan out there who are listening. So to see her, mind you, that film came out like in 2007. So to see her once again, and she's an accomplished actress. She was also in The Shape of Water. I believe she got nominated for Academy Award for that specific role. She's Golden Globe nominee. She's, a fantastic actress. Everyone, even the newcomers, they all did an amazing job. This is a very heavy subject, the subject of grief. Obviously, everyone that goes through it, will go through it at one point in their life. Everyone handles it differently. There's no specific way to handle it, right or wrong.
Oh, there's a wrong way.
Well, okay, fine. This is the wrong way to do it. You have Billy Barrett, who is playing the brother, and his stepsister. She is blind, and she's played by Sora Wong. You also have Ollie, who's played by Jonah Wren Phillips. And let me tell you, the beginning of the film begins right away with character development. You already, I'm going to say 5 minutes into this film, you already love the brother. His name is Andy.
You love Andy.
You love Andy. First of all, when I heard that his name was Andy, I was like, he's cursed. So let's just throw that out there. I was like, oh no, his name is not Andy. Because of course, in another horror series, Child's Play, we have poor Andy. And poor Andy went through a lot of fucking hell.
Oh yeah, a lot of bad things happened to that kid.
A lot of bad things. So it was already not looking good for Billy, the actor. And Sarah Wong, she's blind. And she's just like any little girl. She just wants to be accepted. She sees the cool girls talking. She wants to, she goes up to have a conversation. They're looking at her like, who the hell is this chick talking to us? And they're just assholes. And her brother shows up and kind of, rescues her from the moment. And she knows that it didn't go well. But the brother, and this plays later on into how he deals with certain things when trying to help her, which is not the best way to help, but he lies to her because he doesn't want to make her feel bad.
He's like, they weren't that cool. They weren't even dressed right. They were terrible.
Yeah, well, at first he was like, yeah, they're smiling, but they weren't. They were making fun of her. Which is like, who makes fun of a blind girl or a blind person? Like, come on. That's just terrible. Right there, I was like, ugh. I hope their bus, like Freddy Krueger's on the bus and it goes into the fucking desert and just, kills them. But that may have been a little much a reaction for that. But I was just really upset by these chicks and what they're, mimicking her. Poor girl. They go home, and unfortunately it's not really said, but they find their father, and he's not doing well because he's dead.
That's not doing well. That's doing the worst. He's not doing well. He's dead.
I don't think
not doing well is you're a little sick to your stomach and you're kind of feeling like shit.
He dies in the shower, and let me tell you, there's a lot of things, okay, that could traumatize a person in a situation where they're coming home and they find a loved one that's dead, okay? The worst one, for me personally, would be you find said loved one, a parent, and they're booty-ass naked. That's not how I want to see my parent, especially, and that's the last image you're going to have of them. It was very graphic. Let's hope that children do not bring her back, as they did when I watched the Final Destination movie Bloodlines a couple of weeks or 2 weeks ago, where there were children present for that one, under the age of 5. So come in, he's dead. Obviously, the kids have to transition into a foster home because the brother is not of age. He's going to be of age in 3 months. So now there's a ticking time clock. There's a 3 month of like, ooh, can he hold out for the 3 months? And hopefully, he'll be able to move on with his life with his sister, and they can get a flat together and, do all that stuff. No, because within those 3 months, the shit's going to hit the fan.
I'm not even sure it took 3 weeks, let alone 3 months.
No, unfortunately, they got nowhere through the 3 months. Now, not to go beat by beat, I want to say that right off the bat, if you are a emotional person, if you are a empath, this movie is probably not the best one to watch. It is a little more gory than Talk to Me. The grief, in my opinion, is a little more. There's a little more grief with this one than there was in the last one. I revisited Talk to Me about a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh, this movie's not that scary. I mean, there's some imagery that I did not care for, but I didn't think it was like horrifying. But that was to me. Maybe it's because I already knew what was coming, so I wasn't as afraid as I was the first time. But the grief hits you over the head. The grief is definitely there. Now, the little boy that's living with her that she's taking care of, Ollie. First look at him, what you see in the trailer, he's like, outside in the pool, and the cat gets let out by the brother and sister who are like touring the house, and the cat's being like strangled. Something's happening between the cat and the little boy.
It's the Of Mice and Men, where he's petting the cat a little too hard. He's not really going after the cat, but he's just squeezing him, hugging him a little too much, and the cat's like, "Nah, bro, we're good. You can let me go now."
Yeah, and standing in the middle of the pool, he's wearing like no shirt. I don't even know he's wearing he's wearing bottoms, but he don't look great. And he's mute, so you can't have a conversation with him. So now we got a mute boy who may or may not be trying to eat a cat. Then you got the poor blind girl. And then you got, the teenage kid that just lost his dad and had to walk in on him stark naked. We don't know if he killed himself, he overdosed. They don't really get into it. They don't get into a couple of things in this film. And, Sally Hawkins' character, Laura, she does tell them right off the bat that she did have a daughter. The daughter was blind. The daughter passed away. She drowned.
Yeah, she drowned in the pool.
So, and the pool, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, that's why there's no water in the pool back there, because, that's where her daughter died. So, she is quirky, like you said. She is a very quirky mom, a quirky person, I should say. And as a kid, obviously, especially with going through so much trauma, you're not going to really be like, oh, these are all red flags. Because as an adult watching the film, you're like, ooh, that's a red flag. There's a scene where after they come back from the dad's funeral, which that was a whole shit show on itself, she decides that they're all going to they're going to drink alcohol, which in Australia, I don't know what the drinking age is. I think in the, overseas, it's like 16 maybe.
Yeah, England, Australia, I think it's either 16 or 17. So the one kid's definitely old enough to drink, but the girl is not.
Yeah, so the Laura just has the little girl also drinking, and they just keeping shot. They just taking shot after shot after shot after shot. And they're having a good time. They're dancing around. But she purposely wanted this to happen because she has ulterior motives. And let me tell you, this woman, it took me everything in my power. Mind you, I think there was maybe like 5 other people in the theater. It was not a packed theater, which is crazy to me. But okay. There weren't a lot of people, but I did want to stand up in the screen and tell the woman that I hated her. Like, I was very mad at Sally Hawkins' character. I hated her right off the bat. I was just like, how dare you? And then some things you see coming and some things you do not see coming. And I just can't believe that she would go to the lengths that she does, but she's so desperate to see her daughter again. She's so desperate. She's so deep in her grief that she has no logic. You find out literally towards the end of the film This is an educated woman. This is a woman that held a job. This is, you know, a good job. This is someone that was her colleagues, you know, had respect for.
Sorry.
With, you know, within her community. This was someone you would not expect would lose their marbles and just be beside themselves with logic. This is not that moment. Now, there's a shed in the back, or I would say it's a little larger than a shed, but there's a little like house back there.
Yeah, it's a little storage area, garage kind of thing.
And you see her and Ollie, you know, take a little trip back there. Andy sees them go back there on their like first night. He doesn't really think anything of it, whatever. He's like, okay, that's I guess weird, but he doesn't say anything. And then later on, I already knew there was some shit going on back there. I was like, that daughter back there, she is back there. I don't know, it's not looking good. I don't know how she's back there, but there's some craziness ensuing in that fucking weird place back there. And you don't know really what to expect in this film. It is like the trailer does show you a lot, and it's crazy because the trailer actually what they show you kind of is like the opening shot of the film right off the bat.
Yeah.
And if you are an individual that needs answers, you're not going to get an answer to the biggest question of this whole fucking film.
The how they're doing this.
Where this woman obtained this damn VHS, okay? Where did she get this tape? There's a tape that she has that you see in the trailer that shows it's a ritual, a ritualistic ceremony that's occurring, and they're bringing someone back from the dead, right? Obviously, bring her back. She's from somewhere, right? She's somewhere. We got to bring her back.
And we got the little steps, the step-by-step guide on the tape of how to do it.
Yeah, and she's watching that tape. She's pressing the rewind button. She's fast forwarding. She's pausing. She's doing all kinds of things. We never get any of where, just like we don't know where that hand came from the Talk to Me.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of like the Ringo tape. You know, we have no idea what's happening there. They do a lot of clever things in this, transitions, like showing you the kid, Ollie, you know, kind of like what's in him. It's like pretty cool how they do that.
Yeah, you start to pick up pretty early on that like, oh, there's something not right about Ollie. He's got something in there that's not supposed to be.
Yeah, he's kind of like a placeholder. You know, I know we're supposed to say spoilers, but yeah, he's kind of like a placeholder because you find out in the tapes that there has to be the body that like dies, right? Someone dies, and then they are kept, and then this like demon gets like kind of like conjured up, and this demon has to take like residency in someone's body, and they're able to kind of feed off of the dead body and then literally, I don't want to say throw up in like the new body's mouth, or where the soul
They're
or the
transferring
person,
something from their body to it. You can see like the throat, like something was coming out. Like it's their soul in there or whatever, and it's not going to end well.
Yeah, and then the video, you see that the husband got his wife back because she's consoling him and whatnot, but you don't really see anything past that. So usually when you have a film where someone's coming back from the dead, they never come back right? Yeah. Like obviously Pet Sematary would be like the main example for that. So
don't bury me in the Pet Cemetery.
Don't bury Laura's daughter in the Pet Cemetery either. That would have been actually easier for her to do, because let me tell you, the time, the planning, the kidnapping that you later find out about, everything took a while to prepare, and they never really give you a timeline, like how long the daughter's been dead, how long this has occurred. But you know, who knows? That's neither here or there, I guess. Is there a scene that like that you liked? What was your favorite scene?
I don't know if it was my favorite, but it's the most horrifying in it to me. There's a scene with the Ollie boy and a knife that just is one of the most cringy things I've ever seen in a horror movie.
It is pretty cringe. There was a lot of face covering, and Shad is a person I have watched. I can't even tell you how many films we've watched together. So many films, and he never has any reaction, get scared, nothing. There were some parts in this film where I would look over because I'm either trying to, like, you know, not face the screen or hold, you know, cover my eyes. And I look over to Shad, and his eyes were also averting the screen. Woo. Because I was like, oh, okay.
The scene with the kid and the knife, and then there's a scene later where someone is biting, and they're pulling just the way they pull the strip of skin off when they bite. It just looks like that thing when you grab like a hangnail and pull it, and you feel like it's going to go all the way up to your wrist.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like that kind of happens, but you see it actually happen, and you're like, oh God, no.
I did close my eyes for that screen. You kept the eyes open and you looked away
for a second. Like, oh no, it was a lot.
But I did not. I was like, I'm not watching this. I cannot view this cannibalism, self-cannibalism.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It was a lot. The demon is very hungry. We're gonna call it a demon, whatever it is. It's very hungry and it wants to eat all kinds of things, and obviously it's inhuman. So it doesn't care what it eats. My thing was that what was really bothered with, like, there's one point where the thing is like eating like the wooden counter, and I'm like, there's like fucking 6 chickens outside. Your teeth are strong enough to bite through. Well, actually, it was not strong enough, but to bite through this damn wood. But you can't go out back and just pull out like the little fence and eat these delicious chickens. Eventually, later on, literally towards the end of the movie, you see like one chicken didn't make it, it's dead. The other one's like walking around. So the chicken eventually got it. I guess after was like, well, damn it, I've already done all these crazy things and try to bite it. You know, I'm trying to eat in the refrigerator.
I might as well just go ahead and have some chicken now.
For real. Like anything, the brother is trying to save the sister because he knows that there's some shit going down and it's weird, and he wants to protect her sister. He technically is not even supposed to be there because only the little girl was chosen. Piper was chosen to live with Laura. But he was very adamant that they had to take both of them because he didn't want to get separated from his sister, and he was gonna, be overlooking her. And then he was like, once I turn 18, like, we're making a life together. Like, I'm gonna be taking care of my sister. So, she begrudgingly took him in because, of course, she's like, fine, whatever. I'm gonna take his ass out anyway, so it doesn't even matter. She really, Laura really destroys their relationship between brother and sister. She puts doubts in the sister's mind. She does really fucked up things. Now, I have to ask, besides that, did you kind of like see where this was going, or were you kind of like surprised where it like ended up?
No, I could kind of see where it was going. I knew it was going to end very badly for everyone, and there was a couple things about it I didn't quite see, but I knew early on that kid was like the placeholder for the daughter's soul, and that there was something else in there, and it was bad times. How it all ends up coming together, I didn't see exactly, but I saw like the pieces,
Yeah. I have to say that, like we said, there is gore in the film. There is grief. I'm trying to think of another G word that we can throw out there, but It's not a happy ending. And I give it 4 knives. I give it 4 knives.
Yeah, it's a 4-knife movie, but it's definitely one that it's going to be a while before I watch it again.
I will never watch this film again.
Not because it's bad, but because it's just...
Not because it's bad. The movie's excellent. They did a really good job. When you see the brothers in interviews, okay, they're very brother-like, and they're very silly, and you wouldn't think that they would have
make such depressing horror.
Yes, like where is that coming from? Now, I will say that the film was dedicated to an individual at the end. I would say maybe I don't know who this individual is. Obviously someone that means something to them, so that was sad. So obviously they have obviously dealt with grief, and you know I don't even know what to expect from these guys. Are they going to keep on the grief train? Like well they are going to keep on the grief train, because spoiler alert, there is a talk to me that they're currently working on, and believe it will probably be released later on this year. So we have more grief coming our way. I can't, there better not be any more Bring Her Back, but I think there may be another Bring Her Back, because this tape exists.
Yeah.
This tape exists. Is someone else going to find the tape? Like, is someone else going to be able to execute this? Because what you get from the tape is that the ritual worked, from what we see. So I have to say that, yeah, definitely catch it out. It's in theaters now. And thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Jump Scare the Horror Podcast. Stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.